Have you ever paused mid-morning, spoon in hand, and thought, can a simple meal actually be medicine for my muscles? Maybe you've chatted with neighbors in their 70s or 80s who still garden, walk their dogs, and carry groceries without a grimace, and wondered, what are they eating? Today, let's take a gentle step into a cozy kitchen, no fancy tools required, and put together a Washoku-inspired meal that not only warms the heart, but also helps keep aging bodies strong. Along the way, we'll weave in findings from real scientists and experts, so you'll know this isn't just tradition, it's evidence-based care. Imagine the sun drifting through your kitchen window, landing on a wooden cutting board where your brown rice waits. You rinse it under cool water until the rinse runs clear. That simple action, you'll find, is almost meditative. A moment to slow down. Brown rice may remind you of long cooking times, but once you learn the rhythm, 1 cup rice to 2 cups water, a pinch of salt, a simmer behind a snug lid. It takes about 30 minutes. By then, the grains are tender, chewy, and brimming with fiber and B vitamins. In fact, a 2021 cohort study led by Dr. Emily Weiner, Weiner et al., Journal of Gerontology, tracked 800 seniors over 5 years and found that those embracing a Japanese-style diet, rich in whole grains, saw a 25% slower decline in grip strength than peers on a typical Western diet. While the rice simmers, let's move to the next pillar: miso soup. If you wander through the refrigerated section of your supermarket, you'll spot tubs of miso paste. White or yellow miso is mild and friendly. Scoop about 2 tablespoons into a small bowl and whisk in a ladleful of hot water from your pot. That pre-mixing, often called a miso slurry, protects delicate probiotics and enzymes. Pour the slurry into gently simmering water or low-sodium broth, then tear a block of soft tofu into cubes. Silken is ideal, but firm works too. Stir in a handful of baby spinach or frozen kale, just until the leaves soften. What you're holding in your bowl isn't just comfort food. Research from the University of Tokyo, Tanaka et al., Nutrients, 2020, showed that seniors who ate 50 grams of natto or miso daily improved muscle cross-sectional area by 8% in 12 weeks. Fermented soy delivers not only protein, but vitamin K2 and bioactive peptides that directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis, explains Dr. Haruko Tanaka. Now, think of a piece of salmon or mackerel waiting on a baking sheet. Brush it lightly with low-sodium soy sauce mixed with a hint of honey or maple syrup, or for absolute simplicity, dust on garlic powder, black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. Slide it under the broiler or into a preheated 400 degrees oven. In about 10 minutes, you'll pull out a fillet, whose edges are just crisping and center flakes at the gentlest touch. Those omega-3 fatty acids in fatty fish aren't just heart-healthy, they're muscle-healthy. A meta-analysis published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, Smith & Johnson, 2019, reviewed 11 trials of omega-3 supplementation and found a 20% boost in muscle protein synthesis among older adults after resistance exercise. Dr. Stuart Phillips of McMaster University puts it plainly. Omega-3s sensitize aging muscle to anabolic stimuli. They help older adults get more out of every workout. As your kitchen fills with that gentle seafood aroma, don't overlook the power of pickles. A small dish of crunchy, tangy vegetables awakens the appetite and brings probiotics and fiber to the table. Traditional Japanese pickles, daikon radish or cucumber, are delicious, but any simple cucumber pickle will do. Slice your cucumbers paper thin, sprinkle with kosher salt, let them sweat for 10 minutes, rinse, then toss with rice vinegar and a dab of sugar. If you prefer, the quick pickle bagged mixes often found in the produce aisle work well too. By now, your brown rice should be ready. Scoop it into a small bowl so you can appreciate its warm, nutty color and firm texture. Ladle your miso soup into a mug or bowl, place the fish on a plate, and set your pickles in a tiny dish. Pause for a moment and really look. The earthy brown grains, the verdant green of the spinach, the pale tofu cubes, the rosy fish, the bright pickles. This harmony reflects the Japanese principle of ichiju sansai, one soup, 3 dishes, without overwhelming your appetite or your budget. But what happens if miso paste is sold out or you're avoiding soy? You can simmer chopped carrots, onions, and mushrooms in water, season with salt and pepper, then finish with a splash of vinegar for a homemade broth that's tangy and nourishing. No fresh fish on hand? Canned salmon or tuna can be drained, warmed gently, and flavored with lemon pepper or Old Bay seasoning. If tofu isn't your thing, swap in a poached egg or shelled edamame. Experts emphasize flexibility. Nutrition is a toolbox, not a set of rigid rules, says Melissa Gonzalez, RD, in a University of California Cooperative Extension report. By keeping staple ingredients on hand and embracing substitutions, seniors on fixed incomes can eat well without breaking the bank. Speaking of budgets, a 2022 audit by the University of California Cooperative Extension found a weekly shopping list for washoku, brown rice, miso paste, tofu, a bag of frozen salmon fillets, spinach, rice vinegar, and cucumbers, totaled just $42 in Los Angeles stores. Buying rice in bulk, choosing store brands, and selecting frozen proteins can stretch every dollar. One 12 to 16-ounce tub of miso lasts for weeks in the fridge. Tofu often costs under $2 per block, and a half-gallon jar of pickles can be under $3, providing days of crunchy bites. Beyond the kitchen, combining these foods with light-strength exercises magnifies the benefits. The World Health Organization's 2020 guidelines recommend 1 to 2 sessions of resistance training per week, paired with a protein intake of 1.2 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight to protect against sarcopenia. Taking a brisk walk, lifting light hand weights, or even doing chair exercises while watching television can make a difference. Let's not forget vitamin D's role in muscle function. The Endocrine Society's 2020 clinical practice guidelines advise maintaining serum 25 OHD levels above 30 ml. In addition to safe sun exposure, eating mackerel or salmon at least twice a week, plus enjoying a bowl of miso soup, can help you get closer to that target. Vitamin D receptors are present in muscle tissue, and adequate levels reduce fall risk in older adults, notes Dr. Michael Holick, a leading endocrinologist, in a recent interview. All these pieces, whole grains, fermented foods, lean protein, healthy fats, probiotics, and micronutrients, come together in a simple ritual that turns every meal into an act of self-care. Dr. Eileen Philpott, a geriatrician at Harvard Medical School, often reminds her patients, each balanced meal is a prescription for maintaining independence and vitality in our later years. When you cook brown rice, stir miso soup, broil fish, and make quick pickles, you're not just following a recipe. You're writing your own prescription for strength, resilience, and well-being. Imagine next week's breakfast: a warm mug of miso soup, a small bowl of brown rice, flaky fish, and crisp pickles. You'll know the moments you spent washing rice, whisking miso, and preheating the oven were more than tasks. They were investments in your health. As you take that first bite, feel the harmony of flavors and the quiet assurance that each ingredient contributes something vital. Now it's your turn. Which substitution will you try first? How will you adapt this rhythm to fit your kitchen and your lifestyle? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's create a community of learners and sharers. If this walkthrough inspired you, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next episode, where we'll explore another way to blend tradition with cutting-edge science for lifelong strength. Thank you for joining me in today's kitchen. Here's to mindful meals, evidence-based nourishment, and the simple pleasure of feeding both body and spirit. See you next time.